specialized persons working between the product, the producers and the consumers, and help in the distribution of the product. There are basically three types of middlemen. The agent middlemen are the ones who do not buy the goods. They only bring the buyers and sellers together to facilitate the trade. Examples are the agent brokers, commission brokers, also the selling agents. All these are the common examples of agent middlemen. Then merchant middlemen means they buy the product and then they sell them at a profit. Very common example is our wholesalers and the retailers. And the facilitators, that is the third type. In this, they do not undertake the purchases, nor do they buy the goods. They only act as a facilitation or act as a link between the buyers and sellers, and they help in the distribution. Example is the transportation companies, independent warehouses, etc. Next is retailers. Retailers are the most important type of middlemen as they are engaged in the sale of goods to the ultimate customer. Retailers are again divided into two basic types: the itinerant retailers and the fixed shop retailers. Itinerant retailers means the ones who do not have a fixed place to sell their products, like the hawkers, traders, the market vendors, etc. And the fixed shop retailers are the ones who have a fixed place to sell their products. It is again classified as small scale and the large scale. Small scale fixed shop retailers are the ones who do small scale business. They have their own shop. Like example is the independent retailers, the street stall holders, second hand goods sellers and the specialty shops. And large scale retailers are the ones who do business on a larger scale. The different types of large scale retailing shops are: first one is the department stores. Department stores means it is a combination of the various stores under a single roof. There will be many shops under one single roof and one management. Example is Big Bazaar, Shoppers Stop, etc. Then the multiple chain or multiple shop or the chain store. That is, it is kind of branch retailing in which various shops are placed in different areas, and there will be one head office which will be controlling it in a centralized management system. Example is the Bata Shoe Company, Sarona Shoe Company, Jelly Cloth Mills, etc. Then the mail order business houses. It is also called as MOB, M-O-B, mail order business house. In this, first the retailers will be selling catalog to the customers, and the customers will select and order through mail or post. And similarly, their goods will also be delivered through either post or through trains or whatever transportation. VPP, registered parcel, will be sent, or in a railway parcel. That is MOB, or the mail order business house. Then the consumers cooperative stores. That is the consumers retail stores. In this, there will not be any middlemen. The purpose is to avoid the middlemen, eliminate the middlemen and their profits. So usually goods which are sold in this kind of stores will have a lower price. Cooperative stores, we all know what it is. Then the next one is the Super Bazaar. Again, it is a large retail outlet which is owned by the cooperative society. Super Bazaar and supermarket are almost same. The only difference is supermarket means a private organization is owning it, like our Big Bazaar, etc. And Super Bazaar means it is again a cooperative bazaar which is owned by the consumers itself. Example is Apna Bazaar. Next is the modern types of retail stores or the modern retail formats. It is of different First one is the general merchandise retail stores, again classified into three. Supermarkets, we know supermarket is large self-service retail store. Hypermarket, which is even larger than a supermarket, it's also called as a supermarket. And the discount stores, example being margin-free markets in Kerala. Then second one is the specialty store. Specialty store, again first one, specialty retail store in which the goods are limited but they are specialized. Example is the Titan, Tanishq, etc. Then off-price retailers, that is they sell the second-hand goods or the factory overruns or off-season production. Such kinds of goods will be less priced. And then the category killers, which means that particular store will be having only one single type of product. It is dominating in a single product line. Example is the Pet Smart, which is having all the pet items, pet related goods. And then another example, famous one is the Decathlon, which is famous for its sports goods. So these are the category killers. Then shopping malls. Then destination store. It is also called as an anchor store, in which it is attracting the customers by selling unusual items. It is maybe the price will be attractive or the item will be attractive. It is different from a mall, but it is a huge market having the power to attract customers. Example is the commercial street of Bangalore, the Tibet Walk in Ooty, etc. All those large markets which can serve the needs of customers in a different manner. Then the retail chain, again retail chain examples being Shoppers Stop, Spencer Mall, McDonald's, etc. Mom pop stores are the ones which are family owned and controlled businesses. They sell only fewer goods and little in amount also. Then e-tailers, also called as the electronic retailers, famous most important example being Amazon.com. So these are the various types of the modern retail format. Direct marketing means companies communicate directly with their target customers to generate a transaction or a response from the customers directly. It is a model of serving the customers straight without the involving any third party in between. That is what is direct marketing. It is interactive, it is customer database. Responses can be accurately measured as it is having a direct relation with the end customer. Next is the forms of direct marketing. There are various forms. First one is the catalog marketing. In catalog marketing, a catalog is provided or mailed or sent to specific customers, selected customers, and they choose their products and then they place an order, and that is how the sales is conducted. Then direct response marketing, in this the product is advertised with the help of mail or telephone orders. That is again, it is a form of directly linking it to the customer. The purpose is to evoke an immediate response from the customer's end. Then television home shopping, we all must have seen it on TV. There will be cable channels for selling products, for advertising products, and then the customers, when the show is on air itself, the customers can call and ask their queries or share their experiences. Then kiosk marketing, this is important one. Kiosk marketing means it refers to a standalone booth in which it provides information as well as it accepts customer orders. ATM is kind of a kiosk. The model is similar to that of a kiosk one, and you might have seen it in airports or shopping malls or any such locations, or even on streets. It is a standalone booth which is providing the product information as well as ready to access the customer orders. Then telemarketing, that is it uses the telecommunication technology to reach the prospective customers. It is a form of personal marketing, but there is no face-to-face contact. Instead, interaction is either on the telephone or television or such telecommunication media. And then social media marketing, in which social media is taken as a platform to advertise and sell the products. Online marketing is a type of e-marketing. It means that marketing was done with the application of internet and related digital technologies to achieve the marketing objectives. It is also known as web marketing, and companies such as Dell Computers, IMV, etc. use internet marketing widely. The term logistics was coined by Anthony Henry Jomini. It is defined as the process of planning, implementing, controlling the efficient, cost-effective flow and storage of raw materials, in-process inventory, finished goods, and related information from point of origin to the point of consumption, for the purpose of confirming customer requirements. So in this you have to make note of three things. One is, it is a process of planning, implementing and controlling the flow as well as the storage. Flow and the storage of raw material, in process, finished goods and also related information from the point of origin to the point of consumption. Logistical activities are classified as inbound logistics and outbound logistics. Inbound means it is concerned with the inflow of material, whereas outbound it is concerned with the outflow of the goods. Outbound logistics is also called as supply chain management or the physical distribution management. The art of managing and supervising all the activities which are involved in the movement of goods and services from the point of information to the point of consumption is known as logistics management. Next is the key activities involved in logistics management. First one is the network design. Network design is the first thing which has to be done. That is, we have to determine the number and the location of the manufacturing plants, warehouses, materials, an entire network. It is an entire network. Logistic management is an entire network, and its design is the first step. Then order processing. Order processing includes activities for receiving, handling, filling and recording of the orders. So the orders are received. That is the next one. Then the whole one is procurement. That is, items or materials have to be procured. Obtaining material from outside suppliers. First the order is received, then for the order processing, material should be procured. Material handling. Handling of the material, it includes handling of raw material, semi-finished and finished goods into and out of the plants, warehouses and transportation terminals. Next is inventory management. Inventory management means for the continuous flow of materials as well as the money should not be held up in inventory. So inventory management is actually it is a trade-off between too much and too little inventory, and that is very important part for the success of a logistic management. Then Packing and labeling. Packaging, we all know it acts as a silent salesman. So packing is important. Then labeling means putting an identification mark on the packed item. That is again important because it provides information regarding the product. Warehousing is the storage of the product. And then transportation. Transportation is finally the product has to be transported. Okay, transportation is of three types. Transportation of the raw material from the suppliers to the manufacturing unit, movement of work in progress within the plant itself, and movement of finished goods from the plant to the final consumer. The importance, significance or the objectives of logistic management. First one, cost reduction and profit maximization. Cost is reduced because it can be reduced due to improved material handling, then economical transportation, procurement of inputs at lower price, etc. Time utility and place utility. Efficient logistic management creates time as well as place utilities. Competitive edge. If there is improved production process, it will lead to increasing sales, better customer service, avoiding errors, etc. And it helps to sharpen the competitive edge. Effective communication system. It is a management process as such. So it helps in developing effective communication system. Sound inventory management. Inventory management is one of the key activities of logistic management, and sound inventory is very important for a enterprise, or else it will go into losses. Then last one is customer satisfaction. If the customer is satisfied, then logistic management can ensure the right product is placed in the right hands at the right time. Next, the difference between logistic management and supply chain management. It is divided on the basis of 6 bases. It is differentiated. First one being meaning. The process of integrating the movement and maintenance of goods in and out of the organization is logistic management, whereas supply chain management is concerned with the supply chain activities. That is only the outward or the outbound logistics. Objective of logistic management is customer satisfaction. Objective of supply chain management is competitive advantage. Logistic management is a newer concept. It is evolved earlier, whereas supply chain management is a modern or a newer concept. Number of organizations involved in logistic management is one single organization dealing with all the activities of one organization, whereas supply chain management is dealing with multiple organizations. Relationship with one another. Logistic management is a part of supply chain management, and supply chain management is a new version of logistic management. Focus in logistics is on transportation and the storage of goods, whereas supply chain management it is on the finished product and the customer. The difference between physical distribution and logistics is physical distribution is concerned with getting the physical products to those locations where the product should be available. Whereas logistics is a wider term, it is the process of planning, implementing and controlling the efficient cost-effective flow and storage of raw material, work in progress, finished goods and information from point of origin to the point of consumption for the purpose of confirming customer requirements. So by this we can understand that physical distribution means distribution only, whereas logistics is a entire process in which it involves the flow of raw material, work in progress as well as finished goods, and also the concerned information from the point of origin to where it has to be reached, or the point of consumption. Physical distribution has a narrow scope, whereas logistics has a wider